Hello everyone, welcome to Business Legally. My name is Sharon Nambozo and I'm a lawyer with experience with working with small businesses, startups and young entrepreneurs. This week on the show, we'll be discussing business formalization and why it's very important for businesses to register. So you're wondering probably what business formalization is. Business formalization is the process of transitioning a business from the informal sector to the formal sector by making sure that you comply with regulatory requirements and administrative policies for running a business. So if you're a business out there and you're a business owner and you're very passionate and have skills to start up a business, you're wondering, is it important for me to register this venture that I'm starting? Well, this episode is for you, and I hope you can sit back, relax, and let's have a conversation as to why it's important to register your business. Number one, how do I register my business? What has the government done to make sure that it's easy for me as a business owner to register my business? Number one, you need to know that the government made an amendment in the 2015 Income Tax Amendment Act, where they say that every business requires a TIN to be able to require a license from any government institution or any local authority. So it comes from the law. It stems from the law. It's mandatory for a business to register such that they can operate sustainably. Number one, the benefits of registering your business is you're able to operate your business legally. It is separate from you, the business owner, so it can enter into contracts, it can be sued, it can also recover debt on its own and also incur its own debt and also incur on its own liabilities that it needs to settle without that pouring into your personal finances. When you register a business, let's say you register a company or even a sole proprietorship, you acquire a business name. Now, this business name becomes unique to you. Actually, when you even log into the URSB portal, you're able to see a list of names that have been registered by the registrar. If you register, you're able to find your name there, and this name cannot be later given out to another business. So now this creates the perfect foundation for protecting your business name and also being able to protect the intellectual property in this name. Another thing would be you can easily access credit from banks and any other lending institutions because these businesses usually trust that if you're a business owner and you have formalized your business, you've registered, you're operating legally, they can trust your business operations and they can be able to recover legally in case of default because there are very many remedies that are available to a business that can be uniquely identified, separate from the individual. Another thing is easier to market your business and brand it even cross-border because if you register your business, the name is unique to you. You can later register the intellectual property as a trademark or a logo in that name, and you're able to implement marketing strategies both at home and also across the border in other countries. So you can also expand your business. This is another benefit of formalizing your business. Market expansion is something that is also on the table. So after discussing the benefits, now you know why it's important for you to register your business. So like I said, the government has implemented a number of programs to make sure that the registration of your business is smoother than it used to be. And this is through TREP, the Tax Registration Expansion Program, where government required all individuals running businesses to acquire a TIN and also register their business. But now under this program, the URA, URSB, KCCA, and other local council authorities decided to come together and make sure that they smooth out this process. Previously, you would have to individually walk into the URSB offices, register your business, then you move on to URA, register and get a tax identification number, then later go to your local council to make sure that you get a trade license. However, under TREP, all these processes are done in one place. So for example, if you register your business right now with URSB, they'll ask for certain details of the authorized director. Using their TIN, they're able to process a company TIN for you, and your business is able to get a unique identification number for your tax purposes. So it's important that you take note of this such that you're not discouraged thinking, oh, I have to go to URSB, then URA, then KCCA. You can do all these in one place. There are so many stop centers that you can go to physically, and you're able to be advised and also helped by these people. They will walk you through the process of registering your business, then also walk you through the process of acquiring a TIN, and then also walk you through the process of getting a trade license. So you're probably wondering, so what next after I register my business? What is next? Now, the next thing is administrative policies. When you're running your business, it needs to be clear to third parties. For example, your suppliers, your vendors, government, or even your clients, how you operate in your business. This is something that most businesses usually ignore, but you have to have, for example, a sexual harassment policy. You need to have a financial policy that outlines how you deal with the finances in your company, and your employment policy, HR policies, data protection policies. All these help you to clearly streamline the operations of your business such that it's clear to third parties and not just to only you how you're running your business. So another thing that is going to be important that we're going to be discussing as we go is legal compliance. Now, legal compliance is something that is closely related to business formalization. These go hand in hand, as business formalization sets the foundation for legal compliance. Now, why is legal compliance important? If you do not comply to the law, you lose trust in your clients, in the public. People don't want to work with businesses that they're not sure whether these businesses are operating legally. Secondly, you open up yourself to penalties. For example, if you do not file your tax returns in time, or if you do not file your annual returns in time, all these things open you up to illegalities such that you're liable to pay penalties, and this will take a huge chunk of money from your profits, which will be detrimental to the general success of your business in the long run. So aside from this, also it reduces your ability to access credit, like we previously discussed, because if you're not compliant, lenders find it hard to trust you and your business operations going forward. So as a business owner out there, you're probably thinking, oh, I have a passion, I have a skill to start this business, and I'm willing to register my business. But what is in it for me? Because I've sat with so many business owners before, and we started this journey of business registration together, and usually the first thing they say is that it is very, very expensive, which is not true, because currently we can see most of these government entities have decided that the process of registering a business can be done digitally. So at the comfort of your home, in front of your laptop, you can actually register your business. You just have to have enough information, make enough research such that you have all the information you need to make the proper filings, and then you can be able to get your business. So this saves you transportation costs, unlike in the past where you actually had to physically walk into an office. So it's not expensive as it used to be. And also business formalization and legal compliance in itself, this is something that you should look at as a cost of business. Look at it like rent. This is a mandatory requirement for you and your business. So if you look at it as that, you'll be able to set aside funds from the business to be able to cater for these expenses going forward. So it is important that you take note of this. From dealing with small businesses in my practice generally, I discovered some challenges that business owners face that stop them from formalizing their business. The first being the cost, because business registration or formalization of a business is not just a one-time thing. The moment you get that certificate of incorporation from URSB, you have to go to URA, and after that you have to go to KCCA and pay for your trade license, pay for the local service tax, and then later you will need to renew these annually. You need to file your annual returns annually, you need to file your tax returns annually, or even monthly, depending on the kind of tax that you qualify for. So business compliance is an ongoing process, and this also applies to the industry-specific business licenses. For example, if you're in the mining sector, on top of all these licenses, you still need to get a mining license. So this is something that was brought up, the cost, which personally, like I said, most of these processes are digital, so at least the cost is cut back a bit. But also, if you look at these expenses as a cost of doing business, you set aside funds, and these are apportioned to make sure that you will use them to continuously comply with the legal requirements of your business. Another thing is bureaucracy, because you can't sit in one place and fully register your business. There is URSB with its specific processes, URA, KCCA, or even any other local council, depending on the jurisdiction of your business. So you move from one entity to another. So the bureaucracy can be a bit tiring, because even the waiting times between the different entities and the different applications can sometimes discourage some people. However, like I said, using TREP, they are one-stop centers, so you can do all these things in one place. Another thing is that most business owners, whenever they invest or if they spend money on the business, they expect a return on investment. Unfortunately, the return on investment on business formalization or legal compliance is not immediate. So most business owners do not immediately see the importance or the benefit of registering their business. So now this becomes a bit of a problem because you have to sit with them and explain that you need to think of your business as a sustainable venture. It needs to outlive you. It needs to be able to be transferred or even moved on to other owners in the future. It needs to be open to investment. So this is a conversation that I continuously have with my clients, and I always encourage everyone to register their business formally. So in conclusion of this discussion this week, number one, we discussed why it's important to formalize your business. For example, you access credit easier. You can easily work with government, because government and other big corporations require tax compliance as part of their internal processes, so you'll be able to qualify. And also there are some challenges that business owners face, for example, the cost and the bureaucracy, the lack of the ability not to see immediately the return on investment when they spend all this money on legalization of their business. So on top of all those challenges, as a business, you need to know that your business has to be sustainable. So you need to protect yourself by registering your business such that, number one, you protect yourself from penalties. Number two, you're able to build a strong brand and reputation in the public such that you can easily attract clients and also make sales in your business and make profit. So in conclusion, that has been it for me, Sharon Nambozo, and this is Business Legally. Until next week, bye.